Hello booktube, hello book friends, welcome back to my channel and another video and another reading week video, what I've been reading this week and the books that I've finished. So starting with this, The Splendid and the Vile by Erik Larson. This I really enjoyed, although I didn't learn a tremendous amount from it. It's basically the story of Winston Churchill coming to power as Prime Minister during the Second World War and the Blitz in London. So it's the first kind of 18 months or so of his premiership. A lot of it is familiar to me. I've studied this period of history quite a bit, so and I'm a bit of a Churchill fan. So there wasn't a lot in there that was new, but I think it was really well written. If Churchill or that period of history is of interest to you, I would recommend this book. If you want to know a little bit more about Churchill, then probably Andrew Roberts's biography is about the best one, but this is pretty good as well. So yeah, I enjoyed this. It's like I say, I didn't learn a tremendous amount that was new to me, but it was a good read. And there's a couple of things in there that I've picked up that I want to follow up that perhaps I've missed from other books and other reads. Then I went on to a book I've already released a video about, but this is my kind of ongoing project to reread all of the books that I was assigned at school, or at least the ones I can remember. And so I read Barry Hines' A Kestrel for a Knave. Now, I said I did another video on this, but I think subsequent to that video, this book has really stayed with me the rest. I read this quite early in the week, and this has really stayed with me during the rest of the week, and in some ways has kind of a little bit disrupted my reading plans. I think because of this, I think this was probably the like modern literature pick when we were at school, like 40 plus years ago, and it's not on the syllabus anymore as far as I can tell, because it probably isn't modern literature, and some of the things in it are now kind of are now more history than current events. But yeah, there are parallels in it to things that are current events, and you kind of think, actually, what's changed? And it was that really stuck with me, particularly in the kind of current kind of climate and politics, and without going into that in too much detail, it was it made me think a lot, I guess is what I'm saying. And subsequently I haven't read a tremendous amount this week. I'm thinking that next up in my in that project I'm going to read some Shakespeare, and I picked up my copy of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which has got a fantastic cover. Thinking that I remembered the opening, and then quickly realizing that I didn't, and the opening was for another Shakespeare play, which is Twelfth Night. And so I've had to order a copy of Twelfth Night as well. I know I read this at school, and I know we went and saw a play of it, I think in London, as a group of like a school trip. But I also, my memory of the text is Twelfth Night, and I've confused the two plays. So I've ordered a copy of Twelfth Night so that I can read both and fully remember them. So I'm going to do a few Shakespeares, maybe back to back, or interspersed with other things as the next part of that project. So yeah, watch this space for that. I then tried, after A Kestrel for a Knave, I tried to read the next book in my kind of TBR for March, which was Wilkie Collins's The Moonstone. And I have to say, haven't got on with it very well, because I think of the impact that Kestrel for a Knave had. So I've read 66 pages, which is kind of past my unofficial DNF point. I'm going to come back to it when I'm in a better headspace, I think, maybe later in the month, but we'll see. I haven't given up on it. I think I'm more in the not right now category than the did not finish category, and because of that, I picked up a Maigret novel, a George Simenon Maigret novel. This is The Cellars at the Majestic, or Cellars of the Majestic, and I've read that, finished that yesterday, I think, and this was a good read. I think the last one I said was, what did I say? It was a very, very complicated murder, but a simple reason. This was the opposite. It was a very simple murder with a massively complicated reason behind it. And I'm not sure I still quite 100% understood what actually was happening, because it's got a very oddly, dialogue in it is very odd. There's kind of bits of dialogue broken up, which is, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's still a great novel. I think in one of the earlier ones, but yeah, it was an interesting read. And as I say, very simple murder, but very complicated sort of reason behind it. So yeah, would recommend that as well. Another book I'm contemplating reading. I've picked this book for a couple of answers in tags recently, which is Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I was saving this for October for, probably, hopefully obvious reasons, but I'm thinking now don't think I can wait that long, so I might add this to my March TBR, or possibly April. Yeah, so watch this space, see what happens with that. And that's it. I've been putting out quite a few videos. Certainly this week, I think I've done one nearly every day. I've got a few more tag videos to come next week. I have time on my hands at the moment. This is the time of year, sort of around my birthday, where I kind of pull back from work a bit, and try and take some time to myself. So that's why kind of normal lack of service will probably be resumed later in the month when work picks up again. But yeah, I hope I'm not kind of flooding your feeds with too much of this. But if I am, feel free to skip or ignore or watch at a later date when things have calmed down a bit. But if you have been, thank you for watching, and I will speak to you again in my next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.